And we're back at the Frontier Securities Investment Conference 2011 here in Ulaanbaatar. And I'm joined by Richard Harris, who's the CEO of Quam Asset Management. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Pleasure.
Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on what your firm is doing? Like, how can you provide investors with exposure to the Mongolian market? What initiatives are you taking?
Yes, well, we became very excited about Mongolia about 6 months ago when we realized that it was a frontier market that was actually had a lot of components in it that could become investable. One of the main things is that there is quite a lot of the Mongolian market that's actually listed outside of Mongolia in major markets like New York, London, Hong Kong, and this provides us with a liquidity pool of Mongolian companies I think that people haven't really focused on before. And by investing in that liquidity pool in those Mongolian companies, it gives us the ability to have a Mongolian fund that then we can slightly to start morph into the domestic market. Because the domestic market is very difficult to invest in at the moment, but having this umbrella of internationally listed companies enables us to have a platform to then invest into the domestic market as it grows.
Okay. So how are you trying to market this to potential clients? Where do you see most of the demand coming from for this fund?
Well, we're trying to tell everybody about it because we do think Mongolia is genuinely a good story. So essentially we have at Quam, because we have a very wide network, we've been going pretty well nearly 25 years, and I've been going a lot longer than that in the market, I would say. So we've just been working our database to tell people exactly what it's about. But the kind of thing we're trying to offer is a fund for institutions, institutional investors, maybe family offices, maybe high net worth individuals, and it's really a fund that gives them an exposure to Mongolia Inc., to the whole Mongolia story, and have a fund that's fairly diversified, that is invested in the listed stock markets, and at the same time it gives them monthly liquidity, which means if they want to get out of the fund, they can get out of the fund at a month's notice. Now we're really, at the base of it, trying to produce and give clients accessibility to Mongolia.
Okay. With the Mongolian market as such is still rather small, right? So I could imagine that the demand for the fund actually exceeds the possibility for you to allocate this capital. So how do you deal with this?
Well, that would be a very nice problem to have, and I hope we have it. But as I said, the international market provides us with quite a deep liquidity pool to be able to do that. And as time goes on, the market will develop and go larger. But there are various ways of looking for blocks of shares in the market. Maybe on the margin, we'll be investing in things like IPOs and perhaps slightly less liquid, but not very less liquid, opportunities that come along. So liquidity in frontier markets is always an issue, but really it's the job of the fund manager to try and deal with that. And I've been looking at this for about 25 years and trying to find ways to create liquidity or to manage the liquidity where we can.
Okay. So the fund is already live, or it's starting later this year?
Well, we've only just launched it. We finished our documentation. We have a soft launch on the 27th of June in Hong Kong, and then we'll have a harder launch where we finally collect the money together and make the first investments, probably say towards the end of July. So that's the kind of timescale that we're looking at.
Okay. Maybe to finish off, I'd like to ask you just in general, what is your outlook for the Mongolian market? What do you expect to any key developments over the coming years?
Well, I think that the Mongolian market it's really developing, and it's likely to develop a lot. One of the key things will be new IPOs, new stocks coming to the market, and they will be in different sectors too, from just the mining sector, and that'll be an exciting development. Now, it's not going to go upwards in a straight line. None of these things do. And there will be setbacks from time to time. But I think the wise investor, and the reason why it's good to invest in a fund, is the wise investor will invest during those setbacks. Okay. And we're the kind of investor that doesn't like to chase prices as they go up, but we want to wait and just be patient, pick up these investments when the market does have a setback, and then ride them up as they go up in the next stage of the lift of the market. So I think the advantage with having a professional fund manager is that perhaps we're a little bit more patient at looking for the right opportunities to get in the market. And that's really what our plan is all about, is providing access to the Mongolian market.
Okay. Mr. Harris, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks.
Thank you.